Hello everyone, my name is Oksana. It's road to Edoverse Weekly Edoverse Insider 130s. We deliver the news about the creation of our project Edoverse. And Martin, could you please open today's session? Hello.
Hello, yes, of course, I would be delighted to. So just scanning through the news today, obviously the biggest news is that another assassination attempt has happened on Donald Trump. Yes, so all the headlines are about that. He is fine. It happened on his golf course. So yes, immediately all sorts of conspiracy theories and stuff floating around. It's quite an interesting case because the shooter seems to have had some involvement with the CIA before. So of course that is really kind of ramping up the conspiracy theory community. But yeah, so that's one thing. But in Japan, we've got the leadership election of the LDP coming up soon, and it really seems like Koizumi Shintaro, who's the son of the former Prime Minister Koizumi Junichiro, is the front runner. So he's very young, at 43 years old. He'd be the youngest Prime Minister of Japan ever. He's very popular among the public because he's handsome and relatively charismatic. And I think this could actually be a really, really good thing for Japan. If you look at the other candidates out there, they're all very uninspiring, old, and lacking charisma. So I think this could be something that could really kind of turn the corner for Japan, and it would definitely be good for us in the tech business because Koizumi's been involved. He's technology minister right now, and so he's definitely going to do as much as he can to promote our sector here. So that's very, very good news for us. In other little bits and bobs I've seen recently, something that's relevant to Edoverse is there's a piece in TechCrunch about how LinkedIn has launched some games, and they're actually doing really well. And in fact, the New York Times, they're kind of comparing the New York Times games to the LinkedIn games, because the New York Times now actually has more time spent by its readers on the games than actually reading the news. So, I mean, obviously the puzzles and the crossword of the New York Times have always been a big thing, but now the games are more popular than the actual news content and features content. So, wow, I mean, this really kind of shows the shift that our society has taken over the years, but it just shows that a platform that isn't necessarily 100% dedicated to games, if it's got a loyal user base, if the games are interesting, and to be honest, having had a quick look at the games on LinkedIn, they're not that good. Even the New York Times games are not that good. So I think we're definitely going to be able to do better, and with our kind of dedicated audience, I think we could do really, really well having people spend lots of time on those games. And of course, our games allow you to earn cryptocurrency, and there's also this kind of social responsibility element built in. So I really think there's a huge potential there, and it's a very encouraging piece on TechCrunch about that today. Otherwise, in Shanghai there's this massive typhoon. I don't know if any of you guys have seen the footage of like windows being ripped off apartments and things being sucked out of people's homes. It's absolutely terrifying. But yeah, you should definitely check that out. It's absolutely horrible. And then the Emmys just happened last night in the States, and Shogun has won several Emmys there. Best Actress and Best Actor, I think Sanada and Sawai won there. So that's also an amazing bit of news for us in the Edoverse, because it's just going to continue to increase interest in this period in history. And I think more and more people are going to be looking to find out more about Edo, more about samurai, about the shogun, obviously. And hopefully it's going to bring more people into our spheres. So that's it for me for this week. Oksana, back to you.
Thank you very much, Martin. And also I would like to invite Sarawaka next. Hello.
Hi. Ciao. So actually it's very interesting the thing that Martin was saying, because right now I'm watching Shogun, and at the beginning I can say the first episode I was it was very, very difficult even for me that I can understand Japanese because they're talking like a old Japanese, so quite like a Latinish, how can I say, Japanese Edo period language, But after from the second episode and go on, it's like it's very, very interesting and very Japanese, I can say. It's a co-production. I think it was a co-production. So the every details things, even for Japanese people watching, it's super, super interesting, super curated. And we don't have, I could see that in the Shogun, they didn't have this part that they say, this is in Japan, we don't do this, we don't do that. That you can always find in Japanese movie made by American production or something like that. So I really invite everybody to watch Shogun 2 because it's well done, and of course because it's talking about Ed period, so everything is connected. Edoverse. From my side, I would like to invite everybody to read the article that I wrote about this Israeli artist. That she is actually the Israeli artist that she had to open the Israeli pavilion at Venezia Biennale. Unfortunately, she couldn't open because of the war, and the Israeli pavilion, they decided to put this poster instead of opening the pavilion. The artist and the exhibitor, Madeleine, would not open to the public until Chessify agreement was reached and the hostages were released. That was the thing that they put, but I was very lucky that I met the curator in Venice Biennale and I could make the interview to the artist. And I can say that it's super, super interesting because she's talking about egg freezing. So she's not talking about war. She's not talking about pro-Palestine or pro-Israel, but she's talking about egg freezing. So reproducing reproducing, I can say, to have children in the future, And it's very, very interesting because the curious fact that Israel is one of the country that is pushing women to have children in the future. So after 30, the government is paying to do the egg freezing. And it's a very, very, from my side that I'm a female too, and I'm late 30, I can say that it was very interesting that the country is pushing you. It's helping somehow, but in the same time, they putting a lot of pressure for the woman to have children. So that was her art exhibition, and it was so bad that she couldn't open this exhibition because I was looking forward to see. But you can find the article on wikipedia.it. You can find her interview. So I would like to invite people to read this article because it's super interesting. And as I told you, it's not talking about war. It's not talking about pro-Palestine or Israel. So please, if you have time to read it. This is all. That's from my side.
Thank you very much, Sarwaka. And I have to also add from myself about Shogun because I've met the actors of this movie. Yes, and I was telling them about Edoverse and Tokugawa-san because one of the actors, he actually like playing the Shogun, right? So yes, it's interesting coincidence. So I was very happy to see that they are getting Grammys and also awards. So very glad for them.
Japan. It's good for the Japanese people too. It's like that finally, after that, the K-pop is always coming out. Finally, Japan is coming out too. So this is very important, and it's so nice that it's becoming more and more international.
Yes, especially like the historical. Historical movies. Wow.
Yes.
So we are at the right time, I think, timing maybe. Yes, great. Okay, so next I would like to invite Minnie Abramovich to the session. Hello to you.
Hello. Thank you. Thanks, Asana. Hi, everyone. I'm Minnie. So today I would like to share about news on Japanese crypto tax is now pushing towards completion by 2025. Japan's SFA, Financial Services Agents, has just published its tax reform request for the fiscal years 2025 and put emphasis on the need to address the tax treatment of cryptocurrency transactions first. Compound reported the plan will make in the assets incoming doubling plan and realization of establishment of a nation through asset utilization chapter of their manifesto in efforts to maximize asset utilization for economic growth. In the document filed by the FSA with the Financial Income Tax System Integration Project, in a section titled Current Situation and Problems, there is a call for the re-evaluation of the clarification of virtual currency as financial assets, a re-evaluation for whether they must be regarded as assets subject to investment present a major shift in Japanese crypto tax. While no specific have been floated as yet, the bringing of transactions within cryptocurrency into the admit of the reform plan is a new feature. The proposal will go before the Party Tax System Research Committee and the National Assembly before any change in the law. The slew of potential reforms has piqued the interest of industry groups and investors who has long advocated for reform of the existing tax structure. As it currently stands, gain from cryptocurrency transaction can be taxed as high as 55% as miscellaneous income. While stakeholders in Japan are demanding a more simplified crypto tax structure, the proposed having one tax rate of 20%, independent taxation similar to other financial investment categories. Japanese crypto tax will attract more activity to the cryptocurrency market and boost economic activities somehow. About Edoverse, the feature of the new game will be launched this soon. What kind of game is it? I apologize that engineer didn't release any information to me yet, but at least the game will be in Daio Koji in Edoverse. And the land NFT holder will have some advantage to pay the game. That means forthcoming Edoverse pay to earn game is very good for the land holder to earn the native token Senate. But at the moment, ENI price movement is very snaggy and weak. The development team is considering to develop more interesting feature to sustain Senate and prop up Senate in future. Same as you both, I'm also looking forward to hearing the game's content soon, so please stay tuned to Edoverse. That's all for today's sharing. We're back to Osana. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Minnie, and thank you everybody for participating in today's session and for everybody who were listening to us. So we will meet next week. Goodbye.